Well, Ace, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get underway with our first map here for the ESL Premiership Winter Finals. Unnamed versus Team Secret, heading to Clubhouse for the first map. Well, Ace, what time is it?
I'm going to let you finish that one, Demo.
It's Siege time!
It would have been awfully rude for me to come in on that one. So far on the bans, we've got Glaz and Maverick have been taken off the cards. Not too much of a surprise for Clubhouse. Maverick, extremely powerful. And as you say, Secret banning Glaz out there. He's an operator that they have suffered to previously. So not too much of a surprise there. How about that Legion ban coming in? I think that's actually the first Legion ban we've seen in the Premiership so far this season, Demo.
Yeah, I think that kind of fits in well with the way that Clubhouse has played, where primarily that defense over towards Catwalk is so heavily involved with having those goo mines available. And whenever we know Unnamed, they have players there who can play Montagna. Yeah, that's a really strong ban. And there you go, straight away, Madman picks up that Montagna. So that's going to cause a lot of problems. And whenever they could counter that, potentially with the Glaz, but as we can see, being gone. So that's always going to be a good thing. And I think they're actually going to go for the 6th pick onto the Montagna, try and catch them by surprise. Sure, Montagna doesn't have that same synergy with the Glaz because he is banned. Still, Montagna just walking up as that kind of human drone, terrifying.
That's it, and if you can play him, you know, the historic spot for playing Monty on a church objective is to get him into the dirt tunnel, move him through there, and as you say, Monty can be absolutely terrifying. How do you deal with a Monty in the dirt tunnel when you can't get round behind him, you can't outmaneuver him, all you've got is the smoke canisters potentially, but obviously, you know, that comes down to Stiz keeping himself alive. That is going to be potentially a very, very important part of this defence.
So we will be ready with the downstairs bomb site. More than likely, we're expecting some very slow early game from Unnamed, trying to clear out the top floor, mid floor, everything in between, and then certainly work their way in. This is the bottom floor. This is Clubhouse, one of the slower paced maps in the entire game, and really comes down to those final 10-second bloodbaths that we see so many times. It's all about the refrag potential, and certainly a team like Unnamed who have that refrag potential on them with the fraggers that they have. Can they execute it well? It's a bit of a tricky execute because you really need your good comms. You need to make sure everybody can drop at the exact same time, and then kills just come out left, right, and center like we've seen just in general for Clubhouse. I'm liking the pulse pick from Lackey. Actually, unlucky. It's to be fair, I did tell him to do that. I was just Lackey, and I was like, you know, just go on Lackey.
I'll be honest, I don't see him being too unlucky today. I think he's probably going to come out. He's feeding some good information back from that pulse scanner already, and it just gives him a good idea where, and there comes the first kill in from Unnamed, and that could be a big one taking Jugger. We've already seen the production pick him up as the man to watch, and that's going to be frags off the board early on for Unnamed, so somebody else is going to have to step up there. And as you've already commented on, the roam game can be particularly important on this site. It's something that we saw Unnamed really fail to deal with last time they faced Secret here, and now they've lost one of their major fraggers, so that could be really telling now, and it's just going to free them up, allow them to get on the roam a lot more heavily and just start really pestering those flanks of Unnamed.
Yeah, not only is that just Jugger gone, that's their soft destruction. That gives Lackey a complete free buy to sit in the back of armory like we know Pulses like to do. They gain so much intel. Already that Montagna being a bit of a pestering to the player inside of Blue LMs, but he will be backed up there by Lackey, and even Stiz using one of the smoke canisters already just to kind of slow down the push just that little bit more. Even another one being put in. Madman just being careful, and this is where things start to get scary for Secret, because we know that Unnamed, they have so much time available.
Yep, they certainly do, and LM's now just holding those angles in blue, as you've said, the Monty coming in, and he's just largely ignoring him. He's going to move in and try and get, oh, how does he not get the kill there? The Monty just dancing around, but the C4 will down him. LM's there ready just to finish that off, and that will be Madman down as well. Meads just refragging that out, getting unlucky, and that will bring us to 4 versus 3 now in favour of Secret. 4-2 as Leon picks up one of his own onto tank, and this is becoming extremely difficult for Unnamed as LM's gets the 4th, and we now have a 1 versus 4. Meads will step in on that thermite and get the first. That leaves him now in a 1 versus 2 as he picks up the second onto Stiz. We've got a Maestro and a Bandit for him to deal with. He's got the diffuser in hand. Is he going to move in for a plant here? He's got 35 seconds. He has got plenty of time. He can even consider dropping a fake plant in here and just try and force Secret to start moving. They don't have to do anything. They're within range to listen for that plant going down, and they're just going to hold those angles. Coming back to what I said earlier about the patience, they're not going to rush this in. They certainly don't want to turn this thermite into a fragmite, and they're going to just wait until that plant starts to go down. And Mead's not having too many options now. 10 seconds, he's going to have to make this stick. He doesn't have time to fake that out. The plant will go down. Leon knows exactly where he is when he can see the diffuser, comes in with a classy headshot, and that will be the first round going to Team Secret.
Well, Unnamed, they just tried to rush it a little bit. They have so much time. There's stages there where the hatches were still not opened up, which I'm very surprised about. Just losing Jugger in the very early game, I believe, kind of led Unnamed down that path where they couldn't get rid of the armory. That means Pulse can sit there, give all the intel. It makes that kitchen push null and void if that's what they were going to try and attempt to go for, which certainly could be an option. You have Thermite to open up Dirt Tunnel, you can push your way right on in. So they just kind of went for the all or nothing kind of play, which is what we're expecting Unnamed to go for.
Yeah, absolutely. As you've commented there, you've just got to look at the first two operators that have gone down there. We've had Jugger and Madman, both players that we've spoken about beforehand. I don't think Unnamed could have got any unluckier, or should that be unluckier, really, coming out and losing those two guys in the first minute or so. So I think Unnamed, as much as they're going to want to keep that aggression, they really need to be careful about losing those guys too early in the round. But we now move up to that CCTV location. As we've said, something that we've seen Secret struggle with so far. We can see from the operator choices, we've even got the Frost pick coming out early on, which is a little bit of an unusual choice. It is one that we've seen from Secret previously. If it's something that maybe Unnamed aren't expecting, those Frost traps, you know, they can be a killer in the late round when people start rushing. So this is going to be all about how Unnamed time that attack, and are they going to switch this up from the previous garage push that Secret are more than familiar with now?
Yeah, having that Frost, I think, is just simply more because it's going to catch somebody by surprise. We've seen that many, many times where teams just place a random Frostbat, somebody gets caught in it very early on. That could be the same case, but more so for Secret, it's all about denying over towards the double wall, because that's exactly where Unnamed go every single time. Open up the wall and push in, using the power of the utility they have from you know, the Capitao, and even using that Montagna with the smokes can be very deadly in the right circumstance. I still think that for Secret to win this run, because we know, like you said, in the pre-build up to this, they've struggled with this defense. If they can deny the Thermite charge, that will be it done. That will be an easy round for them. We've seen it just time and time again. If someone denies the Thermite charge and the Habana charges from that double wall, it's basically a free round for the defense.
I think Monty just maybe missing an opportunity there. We can't quite see if anybody else was watching him, but how about that for a nade from Jugger? That's something you already picked up on before the match there. Those nades going up onto that catwalk, and he will take... Oh, and then he gets a second with another nade onto LMs. That's going to leave us very quickly in a 5 versus 2 in favour of Unnamed. And again, this is what we've seen from Secret so far, really struggling with this CCTV hold. Unnamed not having to do anything different to what they've done previously, just working the way in from garage. They've got no answer whatsoever to those nades. Even having Jaeger on the board, the ADSs has still not managed to keep those operators on for the board, and they've lost 3 very, very quickly. Now, Unnamed, a minute 30 left to go. I think they just need to not get ahead of themselves, just slow down a little bit, start finding where these operators are, use the drones. In comes another from Jugger, and that leaves us with Meepy in a 1 versus 5. He has pedigree for clutches, but not this time, and that will be Unnamed, making a game 1-0.
Once again, Jugger with those frag grenades. That is why he is so deadly on the sledge. Pretty much the exact same way they have played it every single round this season in Clubhouse. That's it. That's their push. There's nothing more to it.
They didn't even have to open the wall up this time. You know, those 2 nades really fired them on. They lost Bandit, they lost Frost very early into the round, and then it was just a matter of time from there. Like you say, you've got too many angles to watch if you're Secret then, potentially. You still don't know. you can make a good guess against Unnamed that there probably isn't going to be anybody pushing in from Gym Bedroom. If you have to ignore that, sure, you can do. But it's still there. Meepy, I think, was in the cash room, and it's still there. It's got to be in the back of his mind that he's going to be watching that side of things, and that's just going to take his eye off the ball a little bit, potentially, for where you've now got a 5-man push coming from Garage. How many angles, how many guns are going to be pointed at you from that side of things? And it was just a matter of taking him out.
So still sticking with the cash room. Of course, Gym and Bedroom is an option. I'm still waiting for the barn stock. That's all I want. That's all I want this season. I've said so many times about how I do believe that, yeah, barn stock is viable. To be fair, yesterday, Tank did tease me. He did tease me about saying, do you think barn stock's viable? He did tease me. So hopefully, whenever we see the defense from Unnamed, hey, who knows, maybe they might treat me.
Possibly. I mean, I think, to be fair, if you look at bar and stock as an objective, I think Secret's play style versus Unnamed, I think Secret are probably the most likely to get a successful hold down there. They've got, I would suggest, a stronger roam game, so they can keep control of that top floor to stop that pressure from the newly created hatch and also the pool table hatch, just to stop that sort of pressure and move things on. We're going to see the same attack again from Unnamed here. So again, this is going to be a telling point now. Can Secret do anything different? We can see we've got Leon up on the catwalk this time as the Jaeger. Are they going to be able to just hold off Unnamed? Unnamed are going to be carrying a lot of confidence into this attack, considering that they've just done the same thing and done it very well and been successful with it. But Secret really need to show their quality here and how they can adjust on the fly and what they can do differently. We can see Madman, again, exactly the same process, but the Echo is going to be hitting him this time, and that's going to make it much more difficult for that Montagna to just keep himself up there. And that was one of the big things last time. We had the Frost flashed, and it was just that risk of, is Monty going to take shots? But Jugger coming out and firing Unnamed up again with that first kill. In comes the second with a down onto Leon. So once again, 5 versus 3 for Unnamed.
Once again, Jugger and Cactus putting in work with all the utility they have. This time wasn't with the frag grenades, instead just to Elliot will be enough. And still plenty of time looking at it from Unnamed to make this push successful. And if you're Secret in this scenario, do you think this is a time where you just play complete turtle, or would you try and just keep up the aggression, possibly a Lambs trying to push in?
Honestly, I just don't see that there's much that they can do at this point. You know, yes, we can criticise Unnamed for only having one strategy, but if you've only got one strategy and that strategy works 7, 8, 9 times out of 10, why change it? You know, at the end of the day, there's no answer to this at the moment. So Secret, I think their only option here is to stay turtle and just to try and force Unnamed's hand. You know, at the end of the day, Unnamed have to do something. They're the attackers, they're the one that are on the clock, and they have to get in and get that plant down, or they have to kill everybody. Otherwise, Secret win the round. So the best thing Secret can do here is try and force them to do exactly that. But Madman blocks the door beautifully. In comes the plant, and that goes down with the wall being opened up. It's surely just a matter of time until Meads cleans up those last 2 operators for Secret, and we will see Unnamed taking an early lead.
Well, that is certainly putting Secret in a bit of a scary situation already, being a bit of a deficit there. 2 rounds to 1, but they do have the church available for themselves, and it was a pretty big bloodbath for the most part for Unnamed, and still that Gym and Bedroom is always going to be an option. But then again, do you really want to play Gym and Bedroom against the Montagna? No, because he can simply just walk in through the cash room, walk in through construction, and that entire hold that teams try and do towards the other side of the map is completely null and void. And you just, once again, have to play turtle. The attacker's open at wall, you can't do anything, and it just plays the exact same way out of cash room.
Yep, I'd agree with you completely. I think if you start looking at a Gym and Bedroom push, you're basically going to see the same thing from Unnamed. You know, they're going to push from garage again. They're just going to work their way through cash and through construction. And once they get themselves into construction and start pushing bedroom from there, you're going to have the exact same problems. And as you say, you're having to drop back to turtle. There's no real flank that you can gain. There's only, you know, as soon as you're into cash and beyond, it's quite easy then to watch your flank when you're attacking from that side on Gym and Bedroom. So I don't see that as a site that Secret are going to want to go to until they start seeing some success out of CCTV and cash, because I don't see what they can do so drastically different. So I think really for these last couple of defensive rounds for Secret now, they need to try and pick up the successful defense here down in church. You might get your wish dem up, they might just go for bar and stock on that last defensive round rather than take that top floor on again.
Unnamed, they have brought out that kind of fill the shoes of the lion, that budget lion in the form of Dokkaebi has that universal effect, very strong, especially for the bottom floor, because you can ring the phones, you can find out exactly where everybody is, because it is such a gigantic bomb site to try and find every single player. Doesn't really work out most of the time, so having those Dokkaebi calls not only does it put a bit of fear into the defenders, but also just gives you such a clear, distinct advantage for that final push, which is something that certainly Unnamed they do need for this church, because they're just going to be running in one by one and dropping one by one. So if they have more of a coordinated push, and hopefully they don't lose Jugger this time. That's going to be the big key here. They lost two operators in the first sort of minute 20 last time, and those two guys were Jugger and Madman, and it's always going to be rough when you lose those two. You've got Madman on your Monty as well. He's been playing it so successfully. I think really Unnamed just need to take a little bit more time on this one. As you said, Clubhouse can be quite a slow-paced map, and that's okay. That's not a problem. You know, work your way in, clear out those roamers, and then, you know, with sort of a minute 30, a minute left, you need to start thinking about getting yourself into blue, potentially getting yourself into dirt or down main stairs, wherever your push is going to come from. Get yourself into position and then execute, all at the same time, you know, with maybe 30 seconds to go. So there's certainly no rush for Unnamed here, and they're doing things much better here. We're a minute and a half in. They haven't lost anybody yet. We've got Madman now positioning himself in blue on the Monty. That's going to make things difficult for Secret, because as you can see, you know, they're looking to operate in and around that area. So Madman pushing in is just going to give them a little bit less wiggle room down in blue. So pretty much the exact same way that Unnamed set up last time, where they want to try and put as much pressure as they can to the blue. This time it will be the first blood, double blood for the players of Unnamed. There's two players gone, Stiz and Lackey off the board. So now 5 versus 3, and this is the exact same scenario that we've seen time and time again from Secret, where they get put inside of this deficit. Madman just going to stand there because the smoke is dead. Not only is smoke dead, but also Leon will be biting the dust very soon, manages to squirm his way. Maybe will get one refrag, and finally Leon will be down, and Madman, he will be there, pulls out the shield, and Tank will steal that kill. Another one for the Habana, comes in the push, Meatbee, holding firm with the Alda. An extremely good gun if he managed to go for the wall bang, could have been a double kill, but no, the swarm comes in from the players off Unnamed, and Team Secret, well, they're at a deficit, 3 rounds to 1. Team Secret getting rocked at the minute. Unnamed, you know, just coming out and, as we said, playing like a team that's got nothing to lose. I think, to be fair to them, that was an excellent example of just iterating that defense. Sorry, that attack. They came in the first time, they tried to be aggressive, they tried to push quickly, they lost 2 men to that. This time, they've come in, they've been much more methodical, they've learnt from what went wrong the last time, and how about that, the timing of that aggression from Madman on the Monty. He just waited, he played his game, and he just held an operator there for, I think it was close on a minute that he held him there for, and he just waited for his support to come down and to push from the other side, and then as soon as the Secret had to try and sort of fight back there, Madman drops his shield, gets straight in with the pistol kill, and even manages to keep himself alive. It was just fantastically timed aggression from Madman. So once again, down to the Church and Arsenal for the last round of these defense, before then we do go ahead and switch on over to see if Unnamed will fare as well as they have on the attacks, but this time on the defense, we're going to see one operator change. Instead of the Capitao being brought, it will be the IQ into the lineup, so potentially they're having issues with a bit more of those utility, and certainly a very good pickup, because look what Meatbee's brought now. Instead of that all-important Maestro that we've seen him do pretty well with, now you have a bit more versatility in where you can place these hidden black eyes. Of course, they're a lot less bulkier than the Maestro cameras, and you can get them in some pretty sneaky spots. But then again, IQ is such a strong operator currently inside of the meta. I know everybody thought as soon as those needs got taken away from her, she would just be null and void, but no, still a very strong operator in the right hands, and that's really only if you use your gadget. I've seen IQs who just play it for the gun. That's not how you play the IQ. No, absolutely, and it's not just, you know, we're not looking across the board there, it's not just going to be Valkyrie that IQ is going to be invaluable against. I think this round could hinge on Tank just keeping himself alive, because we've also got a pulse on the other side in Lackey, and you've got a real potential for Nitro tossers on this objective, so that's
surely something Secret are going to be looking to do just to fire things up. So again, every time that heartbeat scanner comes out, if Tank is on his scanner, he's going to be picking that up every time, and he's going to be pinging the Pulse's location as much as Pulse is going to be pinging anybody else. So I think Tank staying alive into the depths of this round is really going to help Unnamed. And as you said, we've got that Dockerby again, the sort of budget lion that even just if you look at the physical animation that it takes to just take them 2 seconds, it just freezes everybody in place. Yeah, it doesn't give you the outline like lion, but it does just freeze everybody on the spot. Now these teams, as you can see, the drones are absolutely flying around already. They already are aware when people are going in.
Well, just to let everybody know, there is a special guest which has just arrived. We've flew him all the way in from Leicester. He's from Leicester, he's a local guy. I'm sure most of you might know him. It's Freddie the Dog's here.
I am beside myself with excitement, Demo. I watched the week of the Prem with Freddie on there from home, and yeah, it was some quality content, and he definitely knows what's going on with Siege.
Yeah, we'll let him have a little bit of a rest. It's a very long day for him travelling all the way here to grace us with his presence. But hey, who knows? Maybe he might have a little bit of a exciting time with us here for the final match. Already, this time Secret, they have the upper hand. Leon will be there as the Bandit, and does manage to pick up Tank, so that IQ will be gone. It kind of gives Lackey a little bit more of flexibility in what he can do. However, Cactus with a quick refrag with the MK14, almost like a sniper rifle, but does have more of those close range capabilities compared to an OTS that Glass does have. Once again, Madman down inside off the blue, trying to work his way in, and he will come up against Stiz, so those smoke canisters will be very valuable in trying to stall out Madman as much as he can. And Stiz is doing great, 45 seconds. This will make Madman stay there the entire round unless we see the kill come in from Mead, so he's just eyeing himself up for a potential drop in. So this is where everything will start to just collaborate. All of the refrags will come in. Madman just once again trying to push on in, but just like last time, Stiz will be there. Mead just drops to his death, and even Cactus joins in with a fun. Stiz will be there. Madman does have the refrag, a 3 versus 3. 20 seconds to go. As long as that shield is alive, Unnamed have a fighting chance. Jugger puts one into the ground. Lackey off the board. 15 seconds. Plant will go down. Nobody inside of Church. It's down to Meatbee and Alems. The refrag. Meatbee will be there. Denies the plant. Jugger will have to pick up where his teammate could not. Madman with the shield pushes in. Cannot land the shots. And he will be shot himself by Alems. Swinging on in with the headshot. Last one up, Jugger. Goes to the plant. Manages to get it off. A 2 versus 1. Down to Meatbee and Alems to salvage this round for Team Secret. If they get this round, it will pull them back in. Jugger will be there into a 1 versus 1. Alems versus Jugger. Tries to go for the defuse. Is Jugger going to be there? Does Jugger know the defuse is happening? He stops the defuse, and there we go. Alems, the Frenchman, manages to pick up the kill with the 416. And well, finally Secret to get another round on the board.
I tell you what, I had absolutely no idea which way that was going to go. Fantastic plays from Jugger as that last man there. I think they were just so unfortunate that they had the 2 Secret players pinned back into the Arsenal, and they could have got that plant down in Church, but fantastic players just coming through and getting the kill just to deny that plant, and then Jugger had to do it as a 1 versus 2. Madman missing his shots, and unfortunately, although he got the plant down, he got the first kill, he just couldn't do enough, and Alems just using his experience there just to fake the defuse and then just wait for Jugger to pop round the corner. But it still came down to a gunfight. I think Jugger was just a bit short on the HP there to survive that one.
So finally, we will see the switch, and will be Unnamed on these defense. Starting things off with the CCTV room and Cash. Last time, Secret, they decided for the first round to go straight for the bottom floor, so maybe it's more of just a comfort pick for the players off Unnamed. You have to go to the downstairs anyway, so you may as well just, okay, let's go for the Cash room first. It doesn't really matter in most perspectives. Looking at the attacking lineup, Secret, they have more of a very standard, there's nothing really there out of the ordinary. Very, I would say, vanilla operators, all of them inside the first year of Siege, so there's nothing really too crazy with their lineup. And certainly looking at it, all I'm seeing is standard, open up the wall, and you push in and plant.
Yeah, I could be wrong in saying this, but I think that is the exact same attacking lineup that Secret used throughout the match on Clubhouse with Unnamed last time out. I think they might have changed an operator out once, but other than that, it was pretty much the same 5 operators every time. And I think we are seeing that same thing again now. Unnamed, I think, last time out, did perform better than Secret on the defence of the cash office. So let's see if they can do that again. As I said, it was a site that Secret didn't just struggle with on defence, they did struggle with it on the attack as well. And I think the key here, much like with Unnamed, is clearing that garage side out. Even if you get the external double wall open up, Jugger on the dock, on the catwalk, can just peek through the window and he can watch that whole double wall when it's been opened up anyway. So you really need to be clearing Jugger off that catwalk, especially with the dock. If he knows that a fight's coming, he can just juice himself up to the 140 HP and it gives him a massive advantage. You can be talking an extra 3 or 4 shots before he is actually taken out. So definitely going to pivot on how they deal with Jugger in the garage here.
Yeah, Doc's been an operator that we've seen quite a bit during this season of Prem. An operator that, of course, is a very niche pick, has his advantages and his disadvantages. Really, he's just a heavy, which sometimes isn't always good if you're playing in that kind of catwalk position where once you're there, you're trapped. You're dying no matter what, unless you just manage to pop up and get 5k, which more than likely isn't going to happen when with the setup that is Secret. They have the frag grenades, they have the capo bolts as well, but looking at it, Secret, they're not going to go for that garage take. Instead, it will be towards the logistic office, so that will be a construction push coming in momentarily, and First Blood goes in the way of Lambs on that Buck tank. Will get felled, and already Secret storming in towards the construction. This should be a fairly simple open up the wall from construction, cuts off every single defender, they cannot rotate, and just the picks come in, and that's really how you attack this top floor.
Well, yeah, as you've said, Demo, you're completely taking an entire operator out of the game here. You've got Jugger still in catwalk, and he's not going to be able to affect cash room whatsoever. You're relying, if you're playing somebody in the garage, you are relying on them trying to plant in CCTV rather than cash. If the push comes through to cash, he has to start moving. As a 3-speed, he's got a long way to go. But as we can see, just pressure being applied, and I think that's actually quite clever from Secret there. I don't think they have any intention of pushing this side. All they're doing is making sure that Jugger stays in the garage, because that means for the side push, they're now effectively 4-on-3 instead of having Jugger available to move back into sight. He has to stay there and watch that single door for at least another 20 seconds because he knows that shots have come in and he knows that they're on the single wall. So I think in the next 10 seconds ago, we're going to see Secret just starting to close in and to just shut this parameter down now and get into sight. Jugger going to pick himself back up with the stim pistol, but Lems will take him out with a nade as he does. Madman gets the kill onto Lackey, but that is traded straight back out from Lems, so that leaves us 4 versus 2. Cactus saying not today though, and coming in with a double kill before Meepy takes him out. And the final 2 kills from Cactus, that is unbelievable plays. Who said that this was going to be easy for Secret? Unnamed are here to play.
My, oh my. Not just do we have 2 Frenchmen on the side of Secret, well, Unnamed, they've brought their own Frenchman to this LAN, and well, certainly stepping up as that Jaeger. Look at the kills, 7 kills for Cactus, 7 kills for Jugger, 8 kills for Lems. Lackey, very unlucky for him at the moment. 0 kills still yet to get off the board. I'm sure he'll bounce back.
I'm sure he will. These players, you know, that's the thing with Secret. Unnamed really have to keep in mind here that this is not over until it's over. They can get 5-2 up and it doesn't matter. You know, Secret have got everything they need in the locker to bring it back from that point. You know, it could turn on, just turn on a switch and bang, off they go. But Unnamed, whatever they're doing here, the aggression that they're using and the way that they're playing is just shutting Secret down. And I mean, yeah, it always helps when you have a operator go off. Cactus absolutely went off that last round and picks up, I think it was a 4K, and just really decimated the team. And I thought up to that point, that push was looking so good. That was a perfect example of, you know, sometimes the contrast between team play and solo play in Siege. You can't rely on those moments, and your team play is what is going to win you matches overall. But every now and again, you just need that spark of brilliance from one of your players, and Cactus brought it to the table then and really got that one in the bag for Unnamed.
Another thing as well that everybody needs to remember is that this is only 5 rounds on the attack and then 5 rounds on defense. It's not 6 rounds, which we know has been implemented now. We're still playing with that old format, so that's something you have to keep in mind. 2 more rounds, Unnamed take the map. It's not first to 7, it's first to 6. And really looking at it from what happened at DreamHack with that new format, we've seen many, many maps take to that overtime simply because that new format where you have to go to the 7.
Yeah, absolutely. It just seems like you say to be giving teams, it's only 1 round, but it's just giving teams that extra breathing room to, like you say, to turn it round. And it's just about getting yourself on a run. And we can see that Meepy's actually been downed in the garage there as well. Tank will finish him off as he climbs up the ladder, and then he just heads back down to site. It looks like we've got quite a strong site defense this time from Unnamed. But how about that? How many times do you see somebody get killed reverse from the ladder in garage? It's Unnamed are playing fantastically well so far, and if they can maintain this momentum, it's going to be huge for them. The last time they won a round, they went on to win 3 in a row. Secret have then got 1 back. If we see another 3 in a row from Unnamed here, that's map over, and all of a sudden Team Secret are looking at being 1 map down, heading in a semi-final that, quite frankly, they need to win.
Certainly the Unnamed side that we didn't really see all too often during the regular season. They certainly look more like a revitalized squad. Maybe it might be because they do have the big man himself, Kendrew, standing behind them as their fill-in coach, and certainly see if he can try and get the people moraled. And like we know, no real strats from Unnamed. It's all about just the teamwork and the aggression that they're bringing. So much aggression. Like, who just underneath the oil pit? Who does that? Nobody really do sit there, because it's always going to be a free kill in terms for the attack if you get droned out. Didn't happen. Secret a little bit sloppy in the drones, which is something I have picked up from them quite a lot this entire season. But this will be the push coming in. Madman, he does get down, I believe, trying to rotate up through the ladder, and has been down from that. LM's also on half HP already, wasted 1 of his frag grenades, and I'm sure that Secret are going to take their time, try and find at least 1 pick, and Lackey, he will finally get his first kill on the board. A double for him as kills that came left, right, and center. Lackey pushing in with a pistol. Triple kill for him. Mead's last man standing. What an aggressive take from Secret. They see the opportunity. They go 1, 2, 3 drop, and the players off Unnamed fell. Plant will come in, Leon and Lackey, the 2 Brits. Can they salvage this round? Meads pushes in, still has 1 gas canister, and that was not even going to be open, my friend. They did not go for the church wall. And this is pretty much an unwinnable position unless that gas canister manages to smoke them out, and they're taking quite a lot of damage. Meads will try and rotate in towards the memorial drop, but still the angles being held. Goes for a pre-fire. You don't have enough bullets inside the SMG-11 to make anything work. And all Secret had to do was hold the angles, and that will be easy for them.
Yeah, an absolute flurry of kills in the middle of the round there. That's something that we've already commented on. It's very, very common to see on the Church Arsenal objective is the hatch drop comes, and then we get an absolute bloodbath as the kills start raining in. And that left us in a 1 versus 2 in favour of Team Secret. And they showed their experience there, did everything they needed to do, got themselves into a great planting position. It wasn't a terrible effort on the part of the Smoke. He did what he could. He used the utility that he had left to at least force them out of those strong angles that they had. The problem was that they could quite easily set up a crossfire. So you've then got 1 watching the double door in from the Arsenal side, you've got 1 behind the table watching the single door in from the Moto side, and it was just a case of waiting to see where the Smoke would push from. And that was a great round from Team Secret there. They're always keeping themselves just within 1 or 2 rounds, keeping themselves within touching distance, not letting Unnamed run away with this just yet. But I think this next round could be a key round for this map. If Unnamed can take this and get themselves onto map point with a couple of rounds to spare, they get a couple of bites at the cherry then. They could always then go back up to CCTV cash where they've been successful for that first match point. That well could be an important one. If Secret tie it up here, I think at the point where they get in front, I think that's when Unnamed are going to struggle to turn this one around.
10 seconds left.
So Unnamed just taking a bit more utility. Certainly IQ could have been a very strong operator for Secret. not just eliminates the Black Eyes, but also just makes Cactus's life just a living nightmare inside of the armory. Something that Secret could look at, still a very capable operator. They could switch out potentially maybe on the Thatcher for that more IQ role. For the bottom floor defense, it's not really more the case off about the Thatcher EMPs. It doesn't really do a whole lot for you, but possibly they're just keeping that in case, who says maybe a Barnstock could come out of nowhere from Unnamed?
You're just desperate to see it, aren't you, Demo? You really want that.
Just one time, guys.
To be honest with you, I'd maybe question Unnamed's site choice here. They've been beaten fairly comprehensively there downstairs. I know they got a couple of kills as Team Secret dropped, but really, Secret were always in control of that round and that push. Unnamed, however, performed a lot better on the top floor. I'd maybe, you know, have thrown in a bedroom gym defense. They can't go to CCTV cache just yet because of the round rotation parameter, but they could have got themselves back up onto that top floor and sort of hold themselves up and just seen what they could do in the gym and bedroom, and I think that could have been the better option. I'm sure Caster's Curse will come out and they'll probably absolutely dominate this site now, but you know, I just think maybe mix it up a little bit when you've been taken apart like that.
Yeah, mix it up. You have 3 bomb sites there viable for you to take. I just really hope that Vex and M&M are listening about a Barnstock. Just one time. Just one time. I don't ask for much, do I? I don't think I do.
I don't think you do, Dan.
Apart from going around and begging for jerseys.
Which I'm sure will be returned at a later date, Demo.
That's what they think. So, first blood will go in favor of Secret. Leon there with the Habana, proving pretty well with that Type 89. So Jugger will be felled, and certainly Unnamed. A bit of a rough start. This is kind of how it, just the beginning of the end, like we did see last time, where they lost their first player. Secret had the distinct man advantage. They had the number gain, and like we've seen it end up inside of a 2 versus 1 because the refrags were there. Catapults come in, and that will flush away the defender inside of blue. But will we see the rotate coming in from the player of blue? I believe it's Tank, as the Jaeger might try and go for a detrimental flank if he manages to hit that. Stiz will open up the church wall, and the Lambs there also still working on the kitchen floor, but late into the round if you want to try and go for a church push to try and get rid of anybody inside of Armory. What a push from Meads, the aggression from the smoke. Finds Stiz, and the Thermite's off the board, and Meads in this position has the shotgun, can be devastating in these CQB environments. 30 seconds to go. Secret have to try and push in. Lambs will get things going with the LA, eliminates Tank. 4 versus 3. Madman still has a Nitro Cell, which could be massive for denying that plant. You can see lurking in the distance. Madman will find Leon with the headshot. 15 seconds to go. Lackey maybe eyeing up the blue drop, and he will fall to his death. The pinch from Madman and Cactus. But however, the main brute strength of Secret will try and force her way in through towards the church. BP Anna Lamps, but the time's ticking away, and Meads in this position with the shotgun will be enough to stop this Secret defense. And Unnamed are match point on Clubhouse.
Well, everybody loves an underdog, Demo. I think we know that, and we are seeing a hell of a performance from one today. Unnamed are just absolutely flying at the minute. The confidence is high, and they're winning those gunfights, and that's something that we see in Siege. When you've got that confidence on your side, and you're just pushing, you're aggressive, you tend to come out as the victor, and that is exactly what we are seeing happen here from Unnamed. How about that for a defense? Even when we had the smoke over on his own, 2 versus 1, the wall is breached, he still manages to fight them off. Meads getting in with the first kill onto the diffuser carrier, and what more can you say about Unnamed? They are absolutely fantastic so far today, clinical.
Team with nothing to lose is extremely terrifying. I think the best example we can use is EG versus Fnatic at Rio. That was one of the best matches we've seen in Siege history. You know, Dizzle, the coach, beating former world champions. Stuff like that doesn't happen.
I absolutely loved watching Dizzle play that. It was fantastic. His gun skill came out, but he was just so unorthodox and just like throwing in whatever he could. Yeah, it was a great thing to watch, and as you say, that's where some of the real entertainment can come from, when things don't go as expected. And that's exactly what we're seeing so far today. I think, you know, it's fair to say everybody expected to see Team Secret come in and just roll over this and, you know, it be a foregone conclusion, but it's not what... Tournaments have favourites for a reason. Of course they do. But I tell you what, favourites are there to be beaten.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure kind of everybody would agree that if Secret did lose, I don't think anybody would mind that. Everybody likes to see a top dog being taken down. That's exactly why if G2 were to lose, people would actually like that, because they want to see somebody new on top.
I mean, you've got to think about it in terms of the UK scene as well. When Secret came into the Premiership, there was a lot of talk about, you know, should they be there, should they not? And I think it's essential that they are, because this is how teams and players improve and get up to this pro standard. You have to play against them, you have to learn from them, and you have to take those matches in order to improve and elevate yourself. You know, without them being involved, we don't get to a point where we have teams that are capable of beating them. And I see this match and just the overall picture as nothing but a real positive for the UK Siege scene.
So moving into our round, can this be the end for Secret? Will Unnamed take the first map, and potentially we may be pushed for a third map already inside of our first series? Unnamed looking poised and ready, and they have that top floor. And well, I don't think that Secret mind that Unnamed have this top floor, because Unnamed, they did win it down to miraculous plays from Cactus last time. If Cactus cannot do the same, then yeah, it was certainly favoured Secret, because that should have been a Secret round.
Yeah, I think Cactus might have bought them a little bit of a pass there, but it's what do they do with that knowledge now? So they saw Secret sort of show the hand a little bit. They came with a gym and bedroom push, and there wasn't too much pressure on Garage. Now, yes, it's going to be down to whether Secret choose to change that up or not, because I'm sure that in the discussion coming into this round is going to have been, let's remember, they really pushed gym and bedroom through to construction last time. So if Unnamed can just prepare for that a little bit better than they did do last time, Team Secret might actually find that they're not in a position whereby, you know, they're down to being against 2 or 3. They might find that they actually managed to keep themselves, you know, competitive for a lot longer this time.
Jogger will be down, but of course can pick himself back up with the stim pistol, which wasn't reloaded, I don't believe. As Stiz will just push on up, and even if he was revived, would have been an easy kill for the Thermite. 5 versus 4. This is looking good for Secret. They have the wall open, they have garage control. All they need to do is execute the final push and the plant. Cactus, still that guy that you always have to watch out for on the 416, using the Jaeger. Defuse, I'm sure, will go down any minute. Madman, however, will be there and stops the first initial push by Alliance, but double kills come out from Meatby. And also, it will be another one falling as Lackey finds Madman, so a 4 versus 2. Cactus still trying to see if he can find anything in the run-out for Meads, will not be there. And this is all but done for Team Secret. They are poised and ready to take this next round and bring us, yet again, just one step closer to overtime. Cactus, you did it last time, but this time is certainly different circumstances. Secret, they have all the control, they just hold the angles. Goes for a quick jump out, but who's there? Meatby on the rappel. Actually inside of the catwalk, and that's an easy cleanup round for the players of Secret.
Yeah, much better from Secret there, and as we said, you know, you can't always rely on those individual player efforts, which Cactus came out with the 4K last time, which pretty much saved that objective for Unnamed. But, you know, we've seen them win down in church, we've seen them win CCTV. We know that they've got it in the locker, and Team Secret are going to have that in their mind throughout. They're going to know that they've lost on all of the objectives, and they're going to be going back to CCTV. But I think I've got to err on the side of caution here and probably favour Secret to be pulling this to a potential overtime situation, which I think is going to be the last thing that Unnamed want, really. They really don't want to go into overtime and have to face another 3 rounds against Secret. They are definitely, as I said, getting themselves to match point 5-3, gave them a great 2-round opportunity to just finish things off and, you know, put this one to bed and get the first map in the bag. And I tell you what, if they can get that first map in the bag, all bets are off going into the second one.
Will it be decided on a top floor defense? Will this be the final push Unnamed needed to take them to victory inside of the first map, or will Secret fight back and take themselves to overtime against Unnamed? And really that just wipes the entire slate, and anything can happen during that point. So preparation phase, again, Unnamed, no difference. I think the only difference that they have is that they do not have the Valkyrie anymore. It's been swapped out, and instead I believe Maestros came into the picture, so maybe they want some more of that hard plant denial, more of that intel. Only way that Secret can destroy is either if they manage to get a sledgehammer off, which isn't very likely, but more than likely it will be the Ash. using most of that cleanup utility.
Yeah, depending on the use of the ADS, as though those Ash charges could be picked off before they manage to get to the Maestro cameras. And as you said, I think, you know, defending those Maestro cameras, keeping them in the game is going to be an important element of this round. Intel being so important in Siege. You know, the more it really is, the more you know. And coming into another hold up here is going to be tough for Unnamed after that last round. You know, they really do need to think about exactly where the pushes came from and what went wrong, and they've got to do that quickly. But an interesting stat so far for this match is that Secret have failed to win 2 rounds on the bounce so far. They picked up the last round. Is that going to be something that comes back to haunt them and they end up losing this map?
Certainly clinical finishes is what Secret aren't most known for, but at the moment, they're just not there. I still come back to that very lackluster droning that they had. They've had issues with that in the past, and Unnamed, they're not even really bringing anything that bothers drones. No, Mute sometimes is brought for that catwalk to try and deny the drone access, and especially where catwalk is so heavily held. And once again, Maids has been so aggressive on that smoke, so aggressive.
Yeah, and I think that's really been one of the telling factors for Unnamed, has been Meads' aggression. And it's not an operator that you always choose to use to get aggressive with, because you really need that utility in the late round. That's what it's there for. He's using it early on now just to keep them off those windows, and I think that's somewhere that they got hurt from bad last time. So again, it just shows that, you know, that consideration from Unnamed to change things up, and how can we just disrupt Team Secret. And that's what it's all about here with these 5 attacking, 5 defensive rounds. It's taking what was done last time and how can we disrupt that? How can we change what that team is being allowed to do? Jugger, and now 2 minutes into the round nearly, still alive. Oh, just drops down at a bad time there, not allowing him to get the headshot onto Stiz, but it leaves him still fighting for another day, and that's all you really want from Jugger here, is just to keep them. Look at that for a viewpoint as the nade lands next to him, and that takes Jugger out, but he's done his job. Only 50 seconds remain.
Still, this is time for Secret to pull this off, but Meads, he has wasted one of his smoke canisters that could come to cost them in the late game. Leon on the Ash, a familiar sight for many people. Can he do anything with the R4C? An extremely strong gun. Can Cactus do anything as well? A very aggressive standpoint. Will he go for that very quick jump out and try and get the edge on the players of Secret, swarming in towards the bomb site? 20 seconds to go, and still 9 players alive. Stiz will have to push in momentarily and try and get the defuse off as quick as he can, because time is slowly ticking away for Secret. Madman playing aggressive, however, a down will come in as the Lems tried to push up towards blue. Has been caught out by the defense. Maybe we'll give the cover, and so will Leon. This is looking as if we're going to go to overtime. The Valhalla strat from Unnamed will not work, and Secret, they stand firm against the opposition up Unnamed. Then, well, at least another 2 rounds to go yet, Tim.
Definitely looking like a different team there, Secret. Held the angles fantastically, and I think that was a great demonstration of what I was talking about earlier, and one of the things that really differentiates Secret from some of the teams that we've seen in Prem, and that's that patience. They just held their angles, they didn't push things, they just got Stiz into time. I mean, as I commented, it was 2 minutes before they cleared Jugger out of Garage, but they knew at that point the rotation was already open for them to push into sight from that side, so then Stiz was able to just move in freely, start getting that diffuser down, and it left absolutely no option whatsoever for Unnamed than to start pushing the site and being patient. They'd held their angles, and it was basically just players running into their crosshairs, and it was easy shots for them to just pick them off and finish things. I think at least 2 of them there were shot in the back, and Unnamed just really need to stop the bleeding quickly, because if this one goes in the favour of Secret, I think, and they go 6-5 up, it's a slippery slope.
It's all about momentum. Momentum is such a massive part inside of Siege. And whenever teams then have that capability where they believe they can just keep steamrolling and piling the rounds, you know, we've seen on maps where a team could be 5-0 up, comeback comes in, and then the other team wins 7-5. It happens that we've seen that, you know, those scary shifts. And I think for most part, especially on the caster's side point, we can see whenever that momentum just changes. We can tell.
Yeah, and I think we saw that has already played a part in this game. Unnamed came out and took three on bounce, and like you say, they really benefited from that momentum, and then Secret have sort of struggled to stop them on that, and it's been back and forward, you know, one round going either direction. This is the first time that we've seen since that 3-round win a team actually pick up 2 rounds back to back. But I think, you know, looking at momentum here, the important point is that Team Secret have come in on the attack. That's something that they've just done for 5 rounds, and it's something that they've just done very well over the last couple of rounds. So they are going to have been keen to stay on the attack this time, I think, and not have to go back. They know they've got that solid defensive church for that, you know, tricky second overtime round if they need to go down there, which I'm sure they will. That will be the choice. But how about that tank picking up a fantastic headshot onto Unnamed, and that's going to take the buck out, which could be a big operator to lose. We're on the downstairs basement objective here, and they've just lost one of their biggest operators for opening up those vertical lines of sight. Yep, they've got the option of using Stizz's thermites to do that, but I'm sure they're not going to want to. It's going to really limit them now to opening one hatch and possibly a wall, depending on exactly where they want to plant, as you can see now. Secret just getting themselves established on that middle floor. They're pretty confident, I think, that they've got no roamers around them, and they're now just starting to get the drones in, but great watch there from Tank, and that's going to take a drone out and deny some essential intel before this push comes out. And as we can see, they're just starting to turtle up inside sight now, and they really want to take this first overtime round.
Secret, so they have lost that buck like we've seen earlier on. It does really weaken them in terms of not just fragging potential, but also the destructibility factor, and always those nades are handy to have to get rid of any pesky anchors inside of the blue. Maybe we'll get a couple of those EMPs down, and certainly a church wall push seems to be the play for Team Secret, like we've seen before, and the bandit was there, but I believe he's missed the trick. Yes, he has. That's very unfortunate for Jugger. He just barely missed the sound from the exothermic charge. And well, look at that, the drop comes in and Jugger's so aggressive on the wall, finds Meepy with the headshot, and 30 seconds to go. The remaining 3 players of Secret have so much work to do. And Unnamed, they're standing strong, and Cactus there as well on the pulse. The intel Listman gives with that cardiac scanner is immense, and that will single-handedly win the players up Unnamed this round. Tank does find one before being refragged by Leon, but however he gets refragged himself down the stairs. He somehow end up in kitchen beside Cactus, and he says hello and goodbye all at the same time. And once again, match point for Unnamed.
I'm absolutely loving this match. I'm on the edge of my seat. I really cannot predict which way it's going to go. It would have been so easy to write Unnamed off in this match, and they are definitely here, not just to participate, but they are here to win. There's absolutely no question of that. They're going to be going into a defensive phase now. They can get themselves comfortable, into their attacking phase, and they've done very, very well on the attack. Let's not forget, they came out 3-2 up. They're going to be attacking the Church Arsenal location. I'm sure that Secret are not going to be taking CCTV, and that is something that we saw, you know, Secret do very well at. That was they won 2 out of the 3 that they were down there. Unnamed only managed to pick the win up down there once. And when they did, they were much more organised and a much slower push. They got themselves into blue. We saw some great plays from Madman to just temper that aggression of the Monte and use it at the right time. But then Secret came back from that, you have to remember, and they actually outplayed them on that same sort of push in the following round to win the final round on Church. So, you know, I don't think that same push is necessarily going to see too much success. What I'd like to see from Unnamed here is maybe try something completely different and throw Secret off. You know, let's get Dirt Tunnel up and push Madman down there. Let's just really change things up here and not be predictable.
Secret certainly have, I would say, more of an aggressive standpoint. They have the Vigil, which we know could be very detrimental, especially with that kind of aroma potential he brings. Eliminates the drone factor. This is something that we've seen Team Secret do before, where they have primarily they have Leon and Alems in that very heavy roam game top floor. Their synergy in their room game just bounces off each other so well. Can they do it against Unnamed? I actually believe they did do it against Unnamed in their match, so we're kind of expecting the same thing, but that's not going to be the case. So straight away, Cactus finds Unnamed. Once again, a first blood for the Frenchman. Really, since they picked them up, he has came in to his own. And, well, Leon just taking a toilet break at the moment, just having a relaxing time. Again, Meatby as well. Look, an aggressive Echo Drone trying to support Leon. Since they've lost the Lambs, it's really the only option they can go for if they want to try and make sure that Leon does survive in the kind of end game area if you want to try and go for those rotates, and if he does get droned down. And look, all 5 players are very close to each other on the attack. They're all kind of towards that blue, which is the kind of push they've went for time and time again. They have Madman on the shields, and this hatch being open can be terrifying if you're a player off Unnamed.
Absolutely, because it just allows, you know, Leon to rotate with such speed and aggression, and they're really going to have to deal with that. But Leon needs to pick his moment carefully, and he has moved himself in. He's going to get the first one. And the second.
Oh!
How's about this from Leon? And exactly as you said, they failed to deal with that roam game, and it has cost them dearly. That leaves them now in a 2 versus 4 situation, and Leon proving why he is so deadly. And out comes the Nitro toss from Lackey to get a kill onto Madman, so that will leave Jugger with it all to do now in a 1 versus 4. He's going to have to try to slow things down. He needs to break these engagements up into 1 versus 1s, but I'm sure Secret know well enough not to allow him to do that, and he will be now. Oh, he gets the kill even when he's disoriented by that Yokai drone. So that's going to bring him now to 1 versus 3, taking the pulse off the board as well. So that's some good utility that could be used against him. So that's not a terrible first kill for Jugger to pick up if he's going to be successful here. I think that nade just possibly bounced off the framework in the wall there and went the wrong direction. But again, dealing with that utility, taking the Yokai drone out of play. So again, less information. Secret are more than aware of where Jugger is here, and he just needs to pick his time to push, and we're going to see that patience from Secret again. They're going to hold these angles and wait for him to show his hand, and then out steps Leon Gids for the 4K. Leon taking things by the scruff of the neck there, and that hatch drop from Vigil was absolutely lethal.
This is the first and only time I will say it. Well done, Leon. I don't say it too often.
I think he deserves it on that one, Devon.
Okay.
It was just perfectly timed. The way he got himself dropped into the middle of 3 operators, took Dockerby out in the bar, and then managed to turn around and get too quickly. There just wasn't a quick enough reaction from Unnamed there. I'm sure the call out went out to say, I've just been hit from bar, and it just wasn't a quick enough reaction to turn those guns to bar before Leon could be on top of him. And that's absolutely no detriment to the Unnamed players. You know, Leon moved so quickly there, and his decision making was fantastic. It was just exactly what Team Secret needed to fire things up.
Yeah, certainly Leon. I think this is where Secret have realized, hold on a minute, they only push one side. They don't have any interest in towards kitchen. That flank is so open, you know, they don't clear top down. That's something that Unnamed have not done this entire time. Their droning really been non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, who thought we'd see this one come to 6-all? I really didn't expect that before. But again, as you commented, Demo, it's something that we saw last time Unnamed played against Team Secret on Clubhouse. They failed to deal with the top floor roam, and they haven't really learnt the lesson there. They've failed to deal with the top floor roam again, and it's really cost them. But coming into round number 13, then we will have a winner here, one way or another. And I am not going to start making predictions on this one because it's just too close to call. It's been an absolutely amazing first map to get us started here in the ESL Premiership final today. It's really got everybody fired up. The crowd, the fans are absolutely buzzing from this one.
5 seconds left.
I think this is largely all going to come down to this garage defense again.
Well, looking at it, Secret, they have had the better run with attacking this, sure. We did see Unnamed with it once, but it was a bit of a questionable, you know, plays from Cactus, kind of saved them that entire round. Will we see the same way play, or will it be something a little bit more different? Unnamed bringing 3 ACOGs to the table, not just Jugger on that trusty dock, but we've even seen the Echo being brought to the table, so no smoke, which could be a bit of a misplay from the players off Unnamed. Certainly, Smoke has been a very strong operator for Meads. Sure, if he does the same with the MP5 SD, then no complaints from me, but whenever he has been proven so well on that Smoke, why take him off of that? already wall being open. That will make sure that Jugger stays where he is. He can no longer rotate back into the bomb site. He will have to stay tight, and this plays into way Secret, because now they will go ahead and rotate and try and attack in towards the catwalk.
Absolutely, and I think the operator choices there from Unnamed suggest to me they had a lot of success in the last defensive round on Church, just turtling, just keeping themselves on site, holding those long angles and waiting for Secret to have to do something. I think that's the mindset here is, you know, let's go with the same thing. Let's just get ourselves lodged into some difficult positions and let Secret try and force us out of them. The difference is, this site is much easier to do that than Church. It is much easier to start moving people and forcing them out. Jugger just going to turn around and put some shots out through that open door there. Not going to, I think, do too much damage, but we will see Leon get in the first kill onto Tank there, and this is exactly what I was saying. It's just going to be attrition now, and as those operators start dropping, Jugger will pick himself back up, but take more shots. In comes the nade. He cannot get away from LMs, but meanwhile, Madman gets one of his own onto Stiz, so that will leave us 4 versus 3 in favour of Team Secret now, but the problem that they're going to face, getting a kill onto Madman, is that they have now opened up that garage approach, and that leaves us with 2 players, Cactus and Meads, on site. We know Cactus has got pedigree here in this sort of situation, but 2 versus 4, I have to honestly say, I don't think that's something you get away with twice against a team like Team Secret.
Echo Drone still available, could come in pretty viable, not just for stopping the plant, but giving information to Cactus as well. But this does play out the same way that it did last time. Plant will come in, and Echo tries his best to fight back, but Lems will have it, and this is almost set it on unless Cactus can perform the way he did a couple of rounds ago, which is very unlikely. Finds one on Talaki. This could be the start of the clutch, but really at this location, they have a player on the rappel outside of the double wall, and it should be a simple case of the refries come in from Secret. Cactus tries his best, but will fall, and Secret, after looking very weak with inside the first half, will pull back, and they will take map number 1 on Clubhouse.
Yeah, fantastic plays from Team Secret there. They really kept themselves in it, and they showed the sort of mentality that it takes to be a top-level team. You know, they were really up against it at points there. They were backs to the wall, you know, 3-1 down early in the match, and they really did have to dig deep there, and this is what I was saying before we got into the matches today. You know, yeah, every tournament's got its favourites, but they're here to be beaten. They have lost rounds throughout the Premiership. They've lost rounds today, and, you know, the other teams, you know, you've got Vex and M&M are surely going to be sat there thinking, these are beatable here. You know, we can definitely take something off them.
You mentioned that obviously Secret are going to come into this a little bit more relaxed, perhaps, than some of the other teams, and perhaps too relaxed. You call out at the start of the game, Clubhouse is an issue for them. Defending that catch room is a problem, and it was shown right from the start, very nearly going down 4-1, clutching that last round out and coming back to the 3-2 halfway scoreline. But then we saw a similar kind of problem coming through from Unnamed, in that they just couldn't defend that upstairs site either. There's a couple of moments where they looked like they had the right idea, but they couldn't land the right C4, and then they had to, you know, rely on jump outs and run outs, and they're just experience and consistency and calmness under pressure that Secret have from their wealth of time playing shone through and allowed them to just, you know, clutch multiple rounds on the 10-15 second clock timer, where you could see that Unnamed were getting a bit frantic, getting a bit hectic, because yeah, the time is running low. You're not an experienced team, you haven't played together much, and it's all a bit hectic as the timer runs low. But Secret were always just calm and collected, disciplined in that moment, and it helped them come through and, okay, not take an easy win, but ultimately do get that first map in the bag, and I don't see the second map being anywhere near that close.
No, I think you're right there, Panky. It was, I think I'll preface this by saying I don't want to sound unfair to Unnamed here. That round, that whole map came down to almost the, you know, chaos versus order. Like you say, Team Secret kept themselves very calm and collected. And I'm not saying that Unnamed were chaotic as such, but they were just much more aggressive and much more playing on the fly. And like you say, just sort of frantic towards the ends of rounds. And that really worked for them at times. You know, that's absolutely did the job for them. But ultimately, Team Secret, I think, just applying their experience and bringing it round.
And that triple kill there that we just saw Leon picking up should never have happened. Say it's a lethal drop in that first kill. Yeah, okay, he picks up that first one, but there should be no follow-up to that. The 2 extra kills he gets off the back of that are a colossal mistake for Unnamed, and they really did pay for it. Here is the post-game breakdown in statistics, though. If you actually look at the total kills, not a crazy difference to Secret Unnamed. Literally that last round being basically the change there with those 6 kills to difference back and forth. Total deaths being identical, which is a little bit more assists on Secret, as they are just a little bit better organized in their, say, their layouts and their strategies, to the fact that they've always got 1 or 2 other people joining in them with gunfights, so covering their back to trade them back and forth. 2 plants, but no successful diffusers for Unnamed. Secret, however, picking up those 2, some of those early on in the game, but ultimately a lot of those rounds coming out to straight death matches, as you can tell from the beautiful match history graph at the bottom.
Yes, Clubhouse in general, a very kill-heavy map. There's nothing really out of the ordinary, I would say. I think it's kind of a bit of a mixture, because looking at it in terms of Clubhouse, it's a very defender-sided map. And whenever the teams are struggling on the defense, especially Cash Room, whenever the attacks are just so strong, then yeah, you kind of have to start worrying about really what both these teams have to think about, and whoever does make it into the final, then yeah, maybe Clubhouse might be something they have to kind of look at and maybe not even bring it to the final.
Ace, now that we've seen how both of these teams are playing here today, what are you looking at for Consulate for our next map? How do you see this shaping down?
I think if Team Secret, you know, use the heads on the back of Clubhouse there and take what they've learnt from that, Consulate's going to be a very dangerous map for Unnamed. We know how roam-heavy Consulate can be. You've got 3 staircases, and if Team Secret really start applying that and getting the roamers out there, as we saw Leon with that fantastic 3K on Vigil, if we start seeing players like that, Unnamed are going to really struggle. They're going to have to shut the roam game down better than they ever have done, better than we've ever seen them done. That said, are we going to start seeing some targeted operator bans, maybe, trying to take some of those roamers out of the play? I think it's... You can't rely on that. You can only pick 1 defender. Yeah, you can take Vigil out, but you've still got Jaeger, you've still got Bandit, you've still got, you know, you've got so many other options to roam on Consulate that I think it's going to be difficult for Unnamed on this next one.
Let's have a quick look then at who our MVP was for that first map, for that first game for each team. Obviously, I think it's self-explanatory for Cactus to be there for Unnamed. He had a couple of big rounds, keeping them in the game and helping it towards the end. And Leon Gids popping up for Secret.
I hate to say it, but well done.
Been saying that a lot so far today. A lot of praise for Leon today that you don't want to give.
I think it's luck.
It's luck. Was he particularly unlucky today?
Oh, I think Lackey was sometimes a bit unlucky. Hey, Lackey, whenever I did say he wasn't too good, he kind of brought it back, and certainly in those attacks he looked a lot stronger, which I'm surprised from a very dominant Pulse player struggling in the defense on Clubhouse. Bit of a surprise there.
Maybe it's a bit nervous. This is a big stage. He hasn't played on too many for a while.
Yeah, this is only their 4th LAN as Team Secret. You know, it's still early days yet, and certainly that LAN experience will help them with, you know, hopefully many seasons to come for Secret.
Yeah.